I'm Cameron with Spartan Tool, and today we're going to go over our Model 727 jetter. Model 727 comes with a whole slew of accessories. You have a pressure washing wand right like so for job site cleanup. After the job is done, you can simply take that off there, disconnect this, and you have full stream control on there as well. And you also have low pressure or high pressure, which just simply says on the front of your pressure washing wand. It comes with your jetting gloves so that you can get the job done. A spark plug removal tool, which gives you longer reach so you can pull out the spark plugs on the engine. A quick connect adapter to attach your smaller hose. 75 feet of 3/16 trap cleaning hose, which is great for your smaller lines. You can go down to 1.25" lines. To attach that trap cleaning hose, you can either connect your pressure washing wand to the end of your red hose and use the quick connect it has for the lance to connect it there, and then use this as water on, water off, or you can connect it directly to the pump using this adapter right here. This adapter lets you take the place of the connection to the red hose by adapting that down to the quick connect that's on the back of your trap cleaning hose. You also have a nozzle tip cleaner, which lets you clean out any of the orifices on the nozzles if they become plugged, so you can get max performance. And the owner's manual for the engine, which goes over all service required and necessary to maintain that engine and keep it running in tip-top shape. On the jetter itself, we've got a little bit going on here. First, you have a water shutoff for what's going out to that orange reel, which out to the water shutoff for what's going out to your red jetting hose. So lets you flush the system out. It's always a good idea to flush the system fully before trying to jet so there's no air inside the lines. Underneath here, this is a strainer. You can pop this cap and pull that strainer off and clean out that strainer, which protects the pump from any debris that's in any garden hoses that you can connect this up to. You have a air chuck blow-off valve, which lets you connect an air compressor onto this pump and force air through the entire pump to blow out any water in the system to safely protect this so that you can leave it in freezing temperatures without worrying about any water causing expansion and bursting anything. You have your pressure gauge, which clearly shows you exactly what pressure you're building up to. You have pulsation. It's this little knob right here. You can either screw it all the way in to engage pulsation or screw it out to disengage the pulsation. And then you have your unloader right here. As you tighten your unloader, it increases the pressure it's building up to. As you back it off, it decreases the pressure it's building up to. This lets you fine tune exactly what pressure you're using to clear that line. It's a good idea to think of this as the gas pedal for this unit. If this is engaged all the way down, it's like having the pedal all the way down while you're trying to start this engine. It can cause a lot of back pressure and make it bog down. So it's a good idea to loosen this up all the way loose without unscrewing it. And then all under here, we also have our thermal relief plug. It's this little plastic plug here. If this unit were to get too hot and reach above the safe temperatures for the safe operating temperatures for the pump, this will start leaking and shooting that water out here so it can bring fresh, cool water into the pump assembly to keep everything protected. On the front of this pump, there is a sight glass that lets you clearly see how much oil you have for that pump, as well as the quality of that oil. It's important to change this oil if this ever gets cloudy or milky, or if this becomes a darker brown color, it's a good idea to change the oil. Lastly, you have the battery, which is used for the starter on the engine to ease that operation and make that easier for you. On the back of your 727, you have controls for starting up the unit. You have your ignition right here. To simply start it, we're going to put this to the first position. Then you have your choke. To engage the choke, we'll engage this here. And then this is a fuel shutoff for transportation. Right now, the fuel shutoff is on, which is all the way in. But if I were transporting the unit, I can shut this off to shut off that fuel supply. But we want this on. At this point, you have your throttle control up here. So that's all the way to the fastest speed, to the lowest speed. We want it all the way at the lowest and back up about 25%. Now we can either pull start it if our battery's dead, or we can use the ignition to start that up. On our hose reel right here, we have 200 feet of 9/16 hose, which is great for jetting anything from 2-inch all the way up to 6-inch. On the side of the unit, we have our rewind for the hose reel. There is a lock for this reel on the other side. When you want this unlocked, simply turn that sideways and that lets you free spin that hose. To lock it, simply engage here. There is storage for all of your nozzles on this side of the unit. So it stores your smaller nozzles for the smaller cleaning hose, as well as your larger nozzles like your spinners and your penetrating and non-penetrating nozzle. This whole hose reel can pivot up out of the way to give you access to that engine. You simply pull this pin that's on this left side and the whole thing. That gives you direct access to your fuel tank on top of the engine for refueling. You can go further and actually undo these pins here and here to pop the whole reel off and take the whole reel off of the unit. Simply push that back and put our pin through. Lock the reel back on.